What, I killed all the brothers? What brothers? You're the dumbest people in the world. All the brothers are my friends. The leaders that are alive are first-hand friends of mine. I set up Imam Jamil. How, stupid? How? You gotta say how. You can say it to me, I'm the only one there. How? I want everybody to know. Ask that nigga how I set up Imam Jamil. He's in Georgia and I'm up here. And if you can visit Imam Jamil, ask him what he thinks about Imam Musa. You remember September 9th, 2001? Just before, remember the big program down in Irvine? We raised $100,000 for Imam Jamil. Mobilized the whole West Coast for him. What did y'all do? What did you ever do for anybody? What did you ever do for anybody? It's not like I did this. Well, you're talking out of the side of your mouth. What did you ever do for anybody? Why did the police would let you come with a gun and shoot dogs and do anything in the community and put me in jail in the Masjid 3 times, and you come in the Masjid and you can steal anything you want? I don't even tell the people how much you stole. You stole clothes, you stole literally everything over and over and over again. Even my wonderful books that it takes me 30 and 40 years to collect, you stole them all. You probably just threw them in a dumpster somewhere. That's you. What have you ever done for good? For anybody? You've been at the Masjid now, let's say 4 years, and they gave you my money, our money. You never went around and raised money. I gave you a box. I gave you free books. Free books. You know what we did with books and oil? We bought half of the stuff and we bought it. We go to program. We raised big money in those days with books. And I paid for those books. And I hustled those books. I gave you books free. And you didn't do nothing with them. All the duplicate machines, I bought those here and took them out there. Everything. Oil, fragrances, soap, everything we bought for you and trucked it out there to you for free. And you told somebody how you was oppressed. Boy, look here. I don't know what to say about you, but in order to be big, the niggas lie to me, they say, I love you for the sake of Allah. Well, I kind of love you, but it's an old funny style of love. This is funny. Because you're dangerous to yourself. You don't have a conscience. You ain't never fought no police. You ain't never even argued with the police. They shoot niggas down in the street this minute. It don't bother you. They blow up Palestinians and Zionists every day. I don't ever hear you say nothing about nothing. They do stuff to everybody and you hollering about me. We mad at you. You mad at me for what? For helping everybody? For helping you? Not have to eat out of a garbage can? And helping your children? Who else helped your children? Who else helped your father? Who helps your family? Who helped clothe your children? I got to record how much money I put on the books, and I hand you a stack of $100 bills. Just you need help, boy. You need bad help. You need big time help. You can't understand, you and the people like you cannot understand the simplest characteristics of oppression. I'll tell you why I never bothered with you. You can ask my friends when they tried to get us to fight each other in Oakland. I wouldn't fight him. I told him, hey man, I'd go by their house. Well, what you want? I said, yeah, I get it. Well, niggas say, biggest niggas still ain't open right now. They listen to this. So niggas said, you said, I said, that's why I'm here, to tell you what I say. One of the biggest preachers in Oakland that night said, we've been friends ever since. We was always friends, but they were trying to get us to fight. Divide, conquer, and rule. You cannot find on the record where I did anything or my group at our height of power, even beat a nigga up in Oakland. We were not like Felix. We were not like none of those niggas. You can't even go in the penitentiary and find out of all the people. There's people at Oakland, we grew up in the pen together, 61, 59, some 57. And it was a baby doggone here. It says 1957. I didn't have fights with niggas. At all that time, I hadn't wanted to. I swore never fight a nigga again. This little old Den was a real tough guy. Nigga had knots all on his hands. Technically, I won the fight, but the nigga everywhere he hit me, a hickey would pop up. Our lips would say, yeah, whooped him. And I looked in the mirror, I said, I don't think the people believe that. I said, I ain't messing with no little old, he wasn't little, but he just one of them rails, you know, them thin rail niggas that's tough. I'll tell you his name, he was a friend of mine. Yeah. That was 1957. Must be the last time I didn't have trouble with a nigga. 1957. What about you? Y'all come into the Masjid. Look here. I didn't mean to go off track, but we got all the day we want. I'm going to get back to what we Re-Africanization of the Islamic movement in North America. I showed the brothers that scene of them standing in the Masjid door, and you and them Arabs and all them foreigners act like y'all so interested in religion, come bum rushing the door, and you talking tough. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It's one of my favorite, that's why Re-Africanization of the Islamic movement. De-Israelization of the Islamic movement in North America. That means that we're going to, the Negro have been so destroyed in America, the Islamic movement, that they've been sidelined. All the niggas have been sidelined. They might as well be working for the Israelis. The khutbahs, the stories, the stuff they do, it ain't about nothing. De-Israelization of the Islamic movement in North America. Battle space awareness. You give too much credit to the white man and to the Jews, the Zionists. We've been number one on all of them's lists for decades. Whether it's Foxman, whether it's Steve Emerson or Daniel Pipes, they wrote articles, they do stuff. They didn't shut up. You know why? Because they can't do nothing but no nigga. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The nigga to get himself together, he's went through so much, he's able to bear with anything, with anybody till the end. That's why we're calling on the young Negroes, they're not young. Let's say from middle 50s to mid 40s. That's what we're calling on now. I'm going to distribute this CD, this D, whatever it turned out to be, in Oakland. Because that's our mission tonight. We're on a revival now. We're not accepting the stuff. That's what we was doing then. We was accepting punches. It was like a punch. We was letting you do that. We was letting you do that. And the people of Oakland, if you think that Masjid al-Islam was finished, or the government, or God forbid, Mukhtar and Khadijah, you're a damn fool. You're a super fool if you thought those clowns was gonna divert us after. You gotta realize, you don't get to be these type of niggas for free. You can't get big for free. You can't. The government make Abdul-Malik them, and they make all them niggas big. They put them on the circuit, and then what do? They pull them off. And they're not big no more. Where's Abdul-Malik now? They pull him off the circuit. Where's Zayd? Zayd come down to work with, what's her name? Hanging out over there at the lighthouse. I call it the dark house. It's the dark house. The same nigga. I ain't gonna get into it. The history. African American Association. Don Warden, 1963. That same building, they sent the nigga out there from Howard to start that black talk in Oakland. And that masjid over there is the same building that he used to have. He was a big mouth nigga that didn't do nothing for black people. And those people over at the lighthouse, all the Muslims that was with our place, they went different places and they sat down and not did nothing. Nothing. Y'all don't know what you look like. Masjid al-Islam. No matter what you're doing, you're in the big time. You leave nothing. Just like the people here. They was around, they're in the big time. Then, where are they at? That's because the white man controlled your agenda. The white man took me off everything. And I'm still who I am. You know why? He don't run nothing about me. He don't tell nobody who. He done turned every crew. That's it. It's beautiful right here. South Africa. Some of the brothers here heard what Dr. Kaleem Siddiqui said over 20 years ago, 1996, just before he died. If they all heard it, why they ain't rally around and let's get going? Did they rally around? No. My son. They turned on the brother. All of them turned on the brother. Our Iranians. The big show down there in Oakland, across from the lake on Madison Avenue. Used to be the Shriner's Place, or the Masonic Hall. That's the biggest center in Oakland. You know who they got given khutbah there? One of the curly-headed brothers, the brother Hashim. Hashim's record is bad. Hashim was at our masjid. Hashim was in Houston. Hashim was in the bank. That's what he told me. In Berkeley, when Mukhtar was having our money transferred to a different account, to their account, and taking me off of it. Hashim was there. All the brothers that hang around in that crew, Hashim was one of the main people in the curly-headed crew, where are they at now? The Iranians that we worked with for so long, what's wrong with them? Why they don't call now? They don't control me though. I don't sit around here and say, oh, we work together so long, we're such good friends, and I know all the big people, and they run it, they don't call me. I tell them, if any of y'all listening, when I see them, I tell them, you're a little slow. Y'all are slowed up. Look. I'll do this one, and I'll do the Jumma too. Revolution from Egypt to the Americas. You can see it. I do this all the time. But you have to understand what that means, silly. Oakland and the American Islamic Revolution. Do you see anything in Oakland happening? Revolutionary? No. Imam Jamil Alamin, Oakland and the American Islamic Revolution. That means the American Revolution 2011. This was 2 weeks after a big speech down there at the Grassy Knoll in Texas. We laid out what was going to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brothers and sisters, it's all happened. Imam Luqman, Mukhtar, you gave me the federal report from the U.S. Attorney. Yeah, S1, S5, all the snitches. Right? And they trapped him with some computers or some stuff. Why they ain't trapped me? Because I don't want nothing for free. We got a good thing for you. You just got to go out so I see you next month or 5 years from now. Imam abdul-Alim Musa. Imam Jamil in prison for the rest of his life. Imam Luqman dead. What does that mean? You're not on this poster. They ain't got your behind on here, right? This is a white man's poster, right? That's the white man's poster. You can go back to, you can tell this is an old newspaper. This is a front page. Pakistani leader, Sudanese leader, Palestinian leader, and Imam Musa, full black beard. Where are you? How did the white man feel if a nigga is a representative to Muslims of the world from Oakland, and if the biggest leader of our time in the English-speaking world talk about that person as though it's the second coming almost? He's the epitome of all that is good. I didn't, to tell you the truth, I had never listened to it since we had it. I said, oh, I forgot he said all that stuff. I had forgotten until we looked at it. How many niggas have been around the rock bar? None. How do you think the Americans feel? Would you turn the air back on this one minute? How do you think the Americans feel when I come back from overseas and I got pictures with all the big boys? And this, you ought to see, I told the homeboy, I said, you got to straighten up, man. Hey man, you're messing up. You know, they don't like Ahmadinejad, but that's my homeboy. Now, I'm not going to show you much more, but this is the front page, this is a newspaper in Iran, and it's telling them how they should behave and what's coming their way. And if it wasn't 100% correct, there's a little Dolly Parton-looking Muslim lady, Iranian lady, in the public defender's office in Alameda County. She came in and she was taking pictures of all of this, and then she saw the one with Rouhani. Oh, you know him, that's her homeboy. That's who they like. She took a close-up picture of this, and you know what that girl told? They said, this nigga is the highest, got to be the highest man. He's telling the Iranians what they should do in their own country. And they're listening to it. They put it on in the front page. So she's telling them, because she took a close-up picture where she could read it. She said, this nigga here, y'all don't know who you got. Some turkeys. I show y'all this all the time. I'm going to get back to it. This was perfect. Sabotage, death threats against Imam Musa, and now grand larceny of Masjid al-Islamic Council. The world knows about all of that. The world knows about all of that. Armed intruders attacked Masjid al-Islam in Oakland. So, young brothers, my son's age, this is your chance that you missed before. Imam Musa arrested and held in jail for 15 hours. That's the arrest in September. Imam abdul-Alim Musa receives death threats. That's when y'all would be shouting down the hill and just calling, making death threats. You know, it's against the law for y'all to call me on the phone. And you know, some of the people here have seen y'all call. So y'all are actually, that's called stalking. You can't call nobody and tell them, I'm going to do this to you. You technically can't do that. That's against the law. How many times have y'all called me? 50 or 100 telling me what you're going to do to me? Well, you better get busy doing something because you ain't did nothing yet. I think you're a damn fool. I think you're a big fool. Now we're going to get to what we came for. You got to remember, Allah said to Moses, you got all that covered, but I've been with you from Jump Street. When I told your mother to throw you in the water and your sister followed, and I brought you back to your mama, or your mama to you, so our eyes be cool. You know, some tafsir says that Moses' mother not only got her baby back, so she won't go crazy, but she got a salary. Remember, she's a hired wet nurse. She got her baby back and a salary for wet nursing her own baby. Got paid and bring Moses up. See, yes, we in the white man's house, the penitentiary, but y'all have never had enough money to get up into the echelons. You never had no money to go overseas and deal with the politicians of the world politics. Y'all ain't never done nothing. You guys have been stuck there in Oakland. Do you know? Just there. The only experience you ever had was right there at the Masjid. We've been all over the world. I mean, maybe you don't understand it. When Allah protects you, I never even asked Allah for protection from you clowns. I never did. I swear I never did. I never thought about it. Oh Allah, help protect me from them dummies. No, this big stuff, the big white man and the Zionists. And I asked Allah to make a fool out of them, and guess what? No. Like Pharaoh exceeded the limits. Pharaoh was taku because it's like a stream that overflows its banks. I watched the news today about this. Floods and rain down in Carolina, maybe go down in Georgia, a little bit of it. And this damn fool, Don, said today, now I'm taking credit for that because I asked Allah to make a fool, make this a big fool. Now y'all know I said it now. Whether you believe it's because of that or not, I still did say it. You have to agree that I asked Allah to make a fool. Now, Don said all them people wasn't killed in Puerto Rico. We did a good job. They're unsung heroes. The white folks said they have a tragedy getting ready to happen. Maybe the president should unify the people and have them focus on that. And he's talking about himself and the biggest mishap. And even FEMA comes out with a letter saying we blew this, we blew that. They got about 5 points. They say they messed up. He say ain't nobody messed up, it's great. Look, this is better. I don't know what world you live in. Amen. The world we live in is a wonderful place to be. Not the world you live in, not the world that basically other people live in. I look at the world, other people are like, their houses are burning up. Right there in California, thousands of houses just burning up. Right now, the floods, the people don't, they say, away from the coast a little bit, 1% of the people in Carolina, 1% have flood down, and now they got a flood, a doggone hurricane that's slow moving like, and it'll stay there and just rain and rain.
600 miles wide.
Wow.
That's just unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. They ain't getting it yet. But the Quran, the Bible, all religious literature says that the Supreme Being sent these type of ayats so people wake up and humble themselves. And after the red tide 3 weeks ago, I said, forget it. They just ain't in the mood for waking up.
You don't hear anybody in the news saying God needs to help us. The ones they depended on, the governor of North Carolina, the governor of Virginia, the governor of this. But ain't nobody asked the law, oh God, can you help us through this? It ain't even on their mind.
A lot of them closed and put a seal on their heart. That's what the Quran says. They seal them up. Let me get through this right quick. Oakland, I shall return as MacArthur, of course. Example, model, Mr. Oakland. I'm telling you about what the people think, and Mr. Oakland to lead towards foolishness, but now Mr. Oakland to call everybody to Islam. Good, clean record. Musa left Egypt for a while. He returned with a mission. I left Oakland for a mission, and I returned because of the mission. I came back to Oakland to do a job. And I've been doing that job. So you got to hear the story from somebody that was there. We're living in a historical period. Oakland is the Stalingrad of this war. We're not going to let you get in the way of nothing. The stuff we did was to let the whole world see what we're dealing with. You were a sign, you're an ayat of foolishness. That's what we planned for you. You didn't plan it for us. We planned that for you, and we stated what we're doing. We would prefer for America to revive and recover. But America, as you just said, they're not praying, oh Allah, help us, oh God, send your mercy on us and save us from the flood. No. So return, the great epic is for Oakland, Black and Islamic history. Oakland selected above all other cities. Why me? True to the game. You don't tell me who I am. I've been true to the game, and the game been true to me. Why do you think nothing ever happens? Why do you think you never heard Do you know the government been working to keep me broke for tons? You know, Khadijah called when they took the money from the account. Yeah, you said you haven't been broke in 50 years. I bet you broke now. You never tell. When I go out, I want to buy a car, I go buy a car, cash money. Anybody need food or anything? One thing about it, if I'm broke, it sure don't look like it.
Tell you what, if you broke, I'd like to be broke like that.
I'm trying to tell the people, look, God, the prophet, peace be upon him, said, if you take my mission and my work as your leisure, your fun, I'm going to close up the door to poverty. And if you don't do it, you're going to just be working from now on. And you're going to still be poor. The people are working and they're poor. I have worked on a job since 1966. Look, something is going on. You got to admit something. If we have all of these things and all of these properties, and I haven't had a job since 1966, stupid? Stupid? I can't tell you the stuff the government do. They steal radios, TVs, monitors, everything, by the hundreds. They turn a car, that's it, gotta get rid of it, that's get rid of it. Whenever they feel like it. You don't see me holler about it. And they do it every day, all the time. When they do it, I push it to the side. Keep on going. It ain't broke yet. Boy, something's going on. You don't understand, because in the game, after the government punch a guy once or twice, he's broke and he goes to the prison and he quits. He gives up because it looks too big. Don't look too big to me. It looks too small. We done made you and your government look like a bunch of dummies. All that stuff y'all did in Oakland. Then took it in the court. Then it's all written down. And not a scratch. So we say we may call on some of you, but we're going to call on that generation. What I was just talking about. All y'all brothers, my son's age, y'all was coming by a couple of weeks ago. We're going to call on you. The call is to do something with the rest of your life. Because the first 50 years, y'all been going in and out of jail and getting high and ain't nothing happened. Now, y'all was too young to get with Big Hank in the old days, right? But all y'all dream, man, I wish I'd have been here to be in that show. That's what everybody say all throughout Northern California. This is 50 times as big and as important as that 50. And I'm just giving a number, 100 to 100. That was like children's play. That was just the first grade. That was elementary school. That's all that was. That was to learn about money and stuff like that. And what people do, so that you know it. You don't have to ask no questions about it. Chance for you to recover. It's like being a living legend. Never gave up. That's what they told me in Algeria when they sent a message back. They said, the guy here called himself Big Hank. And they sent a message to Oakland. You know what they said? That's what Pete told me. Pete O'Neill. He said, he's a legend in his own time.